Good morning, second grade writers. So we are getting ready to start back into our poetry unit today. And so I just want to remind you of a few things that we had already been working on. And one of them was we were taking a look at how poets make meaning through the music or rhythm of their poems. And so some of the things that we used to do that were we made sure as poets we were using a poet's eye to look at things that some people look at in an ordinary way. We take and we look at them in a different way. Like some people were saying that their glasses were the windows to the future, and as they looked out of them, they saw more clearly. So we want to keep in mind that as we're going forward in our poetry, we'll remember that we're going to make sure we're using the poet's eye when we look at things that would normally be just ordinary. Slippery. The other thing that poets do, and we've been practicing this and getting really good at it, was that they use line breaks. And one of the things that we discovered is that we would put the words we wanted read together on the same line. And by doing that, we could make things sound like they were moving fast or slowing them down or shaping them. I remember Emmy did one where she was talking about being on a roller coaster, and just that part of it, where she wanted you to really feel the movement, she actually wrote her words going up, 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 and then down drastically. So remembering line break, and have some fun with it, but make sure you're really trying to use those in meaningful ways, right? And then another thing that we had just started to explore was this idea of using pattern and repetition in the sounds and the words and the lines. So things like sound words of splish, splash. We were talking about how we would say rings, things, swing things, flying things, high. And that was the one poem we had read where it sounds almost like the movement of somebody swinging. So just keep in mind as we move forward, and I introduce you to today's focus or mini lesson, that you remember the things that we've been working on that work so well with our poetry. So today I want to talk to you more about different types of poetry that we can write. And one of the first ones that I want us to start on this week and give a try to is the idea that we can do what's called a list poem. So it has a structure to it where we list, but we still use that poet's eye and that line break. So this is one written by Zoe Ryder White, and it's called Inside My Heart. And it says, inside my heart lives one birthday party, 2 jazz bands, 3 wrestling puppies, 4 dancing birds, 5 laughing babies, 6 blasting spaceships, 7 lucky fireflies, and a sky full of stars. So as you'll notice, she's listing these different things that mean something to her, and she's listing them in really poetic ways, like where she's saying wrestling puppies and laughing babies and dancing birds. And then she's using this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to just show that it's a listing. We could even go in and do an A, B, C, D, E, right? So be thinking about something that, remember, we're writing about things that mean a lot to us or have a big feeling to us. And so when we're writing these list poems today, let's remember first like what your topic is and how it might tie into how you could list various things that mean something to you. And so I want to share one more with you. And this one is out of what is called an anthology. Say anthology. An anthology, you might be wondering, is where we take a collection of work. So this book here, which is called Signatures, is an anthology from a reading program. And so in it, though, there are poems, and it happened to have one that I thought was a really good example of a list poem. So I want to read that to you right now, and I'll just move this out of the way a little bit. my little makeshift classroom here, right? And let me scoot on in with my book so that I can share with you this poem. So it is called One Gorilla, and it is written by Atusko Morozumi. Here is a list of the things I love. One gorilla. Be thinking if you could use this style that this master writer did. Two butterflies among the flowers and one gorilla. Can you see the butterflies? One, and there's the second one. Three parakeets in my house and one gorilla. And can you find the others? Two. Where's that? Three. And there's that gorilla outside the window. Four squirrels in the woods and one gorilla. I'm gonna hold that up and see if you guys can find the four squirrels. Tricky. Five pandas in the snow and one gorilla. So see how this poet continues to repeat about the one gorilla that they love, but also listing other wonderful animals that they love. 6 rabbits in the field and one gorilla. This one was tricky for me. I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's the 6th one. And then there's the gorilla. Seven frogs by the fence and one gorilla. And I like how this poet is placing these animals out where they have seen them. So be thinking about that too when you write about something today in your poetry. Eight fish in the sea and one gorilla. Hiding that for you. There you go. It's kind of fun to count them up. 9 birds among the leaves and one gorilla. Ten cats in my garden and one gorilla. This made me think of a lot of you that love cats. Share the love of cats in our classroom, huh? And then I love how this writer then put all of them on one page. 10 cats, 9 birds, 8 fish, 7 frogs, 6 rabbits, 5 pandas, 4 squirrels, 3 parakeets, 2 butterflies. But where is my gorilla? And then they end their poem. Ah, there he is. Look at him sleeping among the jungle, and look at all the banana peels. Isn't that great? So I look forward to seeing all of the poetry that you write today. Give that list poem a try. Think of some things that mean something to you. You have, hopefully you'll use the full 30 minutes, maybe even longer. Once you've written several poems, maybe one, but if you write more, go ahead and choose one of them. And starting today, we are using Flipgrid to do an open mic of our poetry. So be looking for Mrs. Daniel and I to be sharing a poem that we've written. And then we look forward to not only seeing you on Flipgrid posting your poem,